Today, I want to talk about the manga Berserk. While on the surface, from an outside perspective, Berserk seems like an average story about a powerful man that fights evil monsters. This in fact may be true, but Berserk is much more than that. It is a powerful character-driven story that kept me at the edge of my seat for the entire 40-volume run. I started reading Berserk this summer, and finished it in a matter of 2 weeks from start to finish. It is that incredible. The way that the artist and writer, Kentaro Miura, uses characters to elevate a simple story about revenge and loss, to create this complex, interwoven story that stems from different time periods of the main character Guts' life. To explain how Miura uses character to greatly enhance the story, I have to explain the character Guts. He is a deeply flawed character that is controlled by his inner rage, which stems from his traumatic childhood. Miura shows the reader that Guts is not a good person from the outset of the story by showing his cold demeanor to those in need of his help and a general uncaring for anyone except himself. The whole reason I'm bringing this into light and explaining it is because the question I want to answer within this short amount of time is, why is this story so powerful to me? This is one of the best pieces of media in general that I've consumed. And why does it speak to so many people and says so much? To answer this question, I would like to bring back into perspective Miura's use of character to drive the story forward. Every single plot point of the story is caused by the inherent traits in a character and their interactions with each other. Guts was born to a corpse. That's where the army that raised him found him. So his life was kind of fucked up from the get-go. He was sexually abused and sold off by a surrogate father who was angered by Guts' proficiency in battle. His jealousy manifested itself in terrible ways. These actions led Guts to have a deep emotional trauma and a great distrust of people in general, especially when it comes to physical touch. Guts goes on to kill his surrogate father as an act of revenge for what he's done to him, and is excommunicated from the band of mercenaries that raised him. He travels the world for many years fighting and gaining strength because that is all he knows, until he meets a man named Griffith. Griffith is the most complicated character in Berserk. His actions later in the story are dictated by his worldview and his goal. His goal stems from his childhood experiences and upbringing. Griffith was a poor peasant that dreamed of creating his own kingdom, and would stop at nothing to achieve this. Miura uses his art and writing to create a mysterious pull that Griffith has, in which others want to fight and die for him. His charisma and beauty are his weapons, as well as his genius intellect on the battlefield. Guts takes a liking to Griffith, and over the next 3 years forms a semi-platonic relationship with him. Griffith is the only person so far that has reached through Guts' shell to someone he could actually trust. Casca is the final character that I want to talk about, because the way she plays a role in both of these men's lives is extremely important. Originally, she is Griffith's right-hand man, and one of the most skilled fighters. She sees Guts as an adversary to Griffith's attention, and she resents him for that. But as time goes on, they become closer alongside Griffith. They both come to understand more and more about each other. Guts risks his life to save her, and nurtures her back to health. Minutes later, almost giving up his entire life to save her. She begins to realize that Guts is deeply flawed as an individual, but from his outer shell, he is a caring and loving person. She helps Guts, and Guts helps her. They both grow immensely, emotionally, and become further connected. Guts' transition from a battle-hungry demon fueled by rage and a love for a man on his own mission to someone who can place his trust in another person is incredible. He grows as a person to show Casca his emotions and his insecurities. He tells her the traumatic experiences from his past, and she responds, showing him that they can trust each other. The dynamic shifts from rivals to a deep connection that cannot be broken by anything. This newfound trust provides an extremely emotional moment at the end of the arc that challenges our understandings of the characters in a way that makes you question yourself and what you would do to achieve your own goals. I don't want to spoil the rest of the story, as I've basically spoiled the entire first arc, but the story is incredible. Each character interaction feels like it's created from all the other actions leading from these characters up to this moment. The interactions feel like real people with emotions facing trauma from their past and growing based on their goals and actions in the future. Readers unconsciously root for every character and their motives because they are given meaning based on the traits the characters show. This is why Berserk is such a powerful read, and absolutely devastating later on.